Hello everybody, this is Abraham with North Shore Computer Services. What we got here today is Lenovo ThinkPad 14 IIL, I think, model 20SL. And this particular machine had a water spill. I opened up the back and I couldn't see where the water spill was because the board looks clean. Let's see. Let me zoom in a little bit. So you can see that the board itself is fairly clean. Once I started taking it apart, and by the way, disassembly of the machine is fairly straightforward. Take off the screws and it falls apart. I've noticed right over here there is a spill. There is left marks of a spill. I was looking for a standard reset on the computer because computer shows no signs of life. As I have done in a previous video, there is usually a switch or a button on Lenovo machines that can be pushed and reset initiated. I've looked everywhere, couldn't find it. However, when I found a spill, I found that there is actually a tiny button right here. I looked on the cover and sure enough, there is the hole with the arrow. That's our reset button. But before we can push the reset button, we need to see what this spill has done. So for that, we're gonna need to peel off some protective tape. Let me see if I could zoom in a little more. There. So we're going to peel off the protective tape from the hard drive. And there is a little bit of a white residue on here that we'll have to clean off. Nothing too bad. But there's another side, this side, and I can see some white residue under here. This, I think, is the worst part, and it looks pretty awful. So you can see all this white residue. That's from a spill. So first thing we do is take a picture of it, and second thing we do is we use alcohol to clean this up. This residue becomes conductive, and when it becomes conductive, the board sees a short and it responds to it by not powering up. This side, the tape side, should also be cleaned up because residue does conduct electricity. So if we clean this part may still cause problems. Let's peel off some more. As the owner said, it wasn't a large spill. However, that small spill, well, by the computer standards, it's not small at all. I mean, this is a fairly large spill. But by human standards, nothing. Another good thing is this was just water, as I was told. So hopefully we'll be able to get this cleaned up. And maybe the computer will work without having to replace too many parts, or any parts for that reason. Also on the backside cover, the bottom I should say cover, there is the leftover residue right there, the white stuff. All right, let's get cleaning. All right, sorry about the focus. I cannot adjust it. I've looked into it. I don't want to stop the video. All right, to clean the affected areas of the board, I just use alcohol and a toothbrush. The kid's toothbrush, small one, works just fine. Clean up, just like that. I already did the deeper cleaning. I'm showing you how it's done. Nothing special. Let's see if our board will power up. Here is the moment of truth. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let's plug in our power connector and something called a daughter board. Alright, those are the only things we're gonna need. Make sure that there is no screws flying anywhere. Let's plug in, and we got a light. And I'd say it's a good sign. Push the power button, and we got lights. Because, yeah, there's more lights blinking, so the board is responding. I don't want to I don't have a fan or anything, so the processor gets warm. All right, let's put it back together and see if it's actually fixed, or is it just lights blinking. Okay, we'll pull our computer back, flip the battery, insert our motherboard where it belongs. Oh, hey. I gotta peel this back. This won't work. Alright, to fix our problem with conductive components possibly residing on here, we just put a piece of tape, just like that. In fact, we'll put few pieces of tape. The fact that I'm covering some sticky glue, not a big deal. The sticky glue is mostly needed when computer is being assembled on the assembly line. It is not an issue when it's being put together by hand, where you have a lot more control over everything, so we don't have to worry about that. Come on. All right. That's the stuff that was over here. And now we need to make sure that all the connections, let me zoom out a little more. All the connections are made properly. Sometimes it just wants to be difficult. Come on. All right, I'll just go on to the next one. That's how I always do it. If it doesn't want to go, I just leave it alone and come back to it.
Hey, I'm too
Hello.
old for this kind of weather. I have to park my car outside, and then it has to be scraped until there's no.
Okay, let's start putting it back together again after the interruptions. Always interruptions. Whoever can remember Firefly, Mr. Niska. Always interruptions. Should probably just close my door. Alright, come on. Some computers just jump together by themselves. Some, like this one, does not want to do that. Does not want to jump together by itself. I have to force it back together. I think some computers are just lazy. They don't want to be the people helpers. You could argue one drop of water and you don't work anymore. Yep, that's this computer and all Apple computers. Apples don't want to work for you. I wonder if it's engineered like that or it just happens like a dog, like a pug of a rich person. Doesn't want to do anything and be mad at everything. Thankfully, I don't know that many people that behave this way, but I know enough. There is enough people that are not happy about stuff in their life that goes on in their life. Okay, now I need to take a look at which ones are because sometimes you put in a screw and then you put in a back cover and you find out the screw has to go through the back cover. I don't like that happening. Okay, that looks okay. Speaker connector. And normally there is a triangle next to the hole that should contain a screw that should be put in, but it's not 100%. Like this one here didn't have the triangle. Okay, we'll put the battery connector in later. Gotta check. So you see, this one doesn't go in. This one doesn't go in. And I guess that one doesn't go in. Gosh. That goes in. And that goes in. And this goes in. Now we need to connect the antenna wires. When I see this stuff, you know, the sticky, hard stuff, I think engineers just were too lazy to engineer it properly. So looks like there's antenna wires disconnect for them. Oh. And honestly, as just primary and secondary antennas, I don't know why they have the white and black, because it really doesn't matter, in my opinion. I might not know something. Here's one. Here's another one. Okay. I just remembered a story. I fixed a computer for somebody, and I don't remember if it was a lady or a guy. And she said, or he said, "You didn't even fix the computer." I mean, I fixed it, but she said, or he said, I don't remember, "It doesn't look like it's been taken apart." I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't look like? You want me to put it together so messy so you see that somebody was in it? Is that the argument here? And I guess it was. She was, I don't remember, she or he was looking for signs that the computer was actually taken apart. So like, I don't know, cracked plastic, or what was they looking for? In other words, I don't like those kinds of arguments. This is what I do. I take things apart, I fix them, and I put them together in such a way that you will not know that I have taken them apart. Isn't that the most beauteous thing you can do for a customer? return an item to them in perfect condition, not scratched, not broken. Working. All right, moment of the truth. Come on. And it lives. It's alive. It's alive. All right, for those that hung up to the last, or hung in to the last, this was a spill. The spill was over here. I don't like this red light blinking. I'll look into that later. And this caused a short, and the computer wouldn't start. So, well, hopefully this helped somebody. This was an entertaining computer. Subscribe if you like my channel. I'm not doing any miracles here. I just show how it's done. Enjoy and save money.